You ever click add to cart on a pool heater that looks sleek on the website, only to find weeks later that it barely nudges the water temperature and your gas bill spikes like crazy? I've been there, scrolling through endless listings, trying to picture a heater that actually keeps a 15-foot rectangular pool comfortable for a weekend barbecue, without turning my garage into a sauna. That hesitation is what drives most of us to read a handful of reviews, compare spec sheets, and still feel uncertain until the first cold night hits. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. So let's break down the Raypak 300k BTU natural gas heater and see whether it lives up to the hype or ends up as another dusty metal box in the shed. First off, the 300k BTU rating puts it in the large pool tier. In practice, that means you're looking at a heater that can comfortably raise the temperature of a 12,000 to 18,000 gallon pool about 5-10 F in a single evening, assuming normal outdoor temperatures and decent insulation. If you own a modest 5,000 gallon plunge pool, you'll be overpaying for capacity you never use. If you have a sprawling backyard oasis, a 150k unit will leave you shivering by sundown. The sweet spot for this model is somewhere in the middle, the kind of family pool that sees frequent use and occasional night swims. Installation is where a lot of the real-world pain points appear, and Raypak tries to smooth that out with a polymer header and cupronickel tubing. The polymer header is lighter than traditional brass, which makes it easier to maneuver during the install and reduces the chance of cracking under thermal stress. More importantly, Cupronickel tubing is highly resistant to the kind of corrosion you get from sulf-chlorine mixes and the occasional stray spark from a faulty pump. In my own research, I saw a handful of forum threads where owners of older steel header heaters reported leaks after a season or two, especially in areas with hard water. The Raypak's materials are a clear advantage if you plan to keep the system exposed to the elements for years. The digital control panel is another practical perk. It's not a glossy touchscreen, but a simple LCD with up-down buttons that let you set a target temperature, see the current water temperature, and monitor gas flow. In the field, that translates to less fiddling with analog dials that can drift out of calibration. I watched a video of a homeowner in Colorado using the control to adjust the set point on a chilly October morning, and the heater responded within minutes, showing a stable flame and no error codes. That kind of immediate feedback is a big confidence boost when you're trying to keep a pool usable in shoulder seasons. Now, let's talk about the hidden trade-offs. The first is the elevation limit. Raypak rates this unit for up to 1,999 feet above sea level. That ceiling is fine for most suburban installations, but if you're living in a mountain town like Asheville or Denver, you'll need to factor in the reduced efficiency that comes with thinner air. The manufacturer's calculations show a roughly 1,015% drop in heating power per 1,000 feet, which means you might see longer warm-up times or higher gas consumption. For those higher altitude homes, a unit with a higher BTU rating or a supplemental electric booster could be worth the extra cost. Another subtle downside is the gas demand. A 300k BTU heater will draw roughly 30 CFM, cubic feet per minute, of natural gas at full output. If your house's gas line is borderline undersized, you could end up throttling the heater or triggering a safety shutoff. It's a good idea to have a licensed plumber check the line diameter before you commit. I've seen a few DIY installations where the homeowner didn't upgrade the line, and the heater would flicker between on and off, never quite reaching the set temperature. Who should actually buy this Raypak? If you have a medium to large in-ground pool that you use regularly from spring through fall, and you already have a natural gas line that can handle the flow, this heater offers a solid mix of capacity, durability, and ease of use. The cupronickel tubing gives you peace of mind against corrosion, which is a real concern if you run a sulf-chlorine system. The digital panel means you won't be guessing whether the unit is heating or just idling. And if you live at an elevation below 2,000 feet, you won't have to worry about a performance penalty. Conversely, if you own a small above-ground pool, a hot tub that you only heat for a few evenings, or you're on a tight budget, you'll probably be better off with a 150k or 200k BTU model. Those smaller units consume less gas, cost less upfront, and still provide adequate heat for modest volumes. Also, renters or homeowners who can't make permanent changes to the gas line should